We're going to keep it moving along here. I'm very excited for your next comic here. He is not a comic at all, but he's very funny. You may be familiar with him from every podcast known to man, the thousands of interviews he's done. He's the founder of the Libertarian Institute, and I believe he hosts antiwar.com. We've got the great and powerful Scott Horton coming to this stage. Please give him a big hand, everybody. We're delighted to have him telling jokes tonight. This is a first.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Because I told you that Donald Trump was not a Russian agent. He's an Israeli agent. So obvious from his first term, come on. But yeah, I used to have this funny conspiracy theory. I mean, I knew it wasn't true, but it kind of fits. That maybe the whole reason that the CIA and the FBI framed him for Russiagate in the first place was because they secretly knew that he'd been bribed by Sheldon Adelson with $300 million to bomb Iran. But you can't say that because that's anti-Semitic. So instead, they framed him with the Russiagate hoax for being in league with the Kremlin in order to try to weaken him that way, which of course didn't work because we all just ended up hating them for the lies and liking him more. And so now we're in this mess. All that remains after all the planes and all the bombs that have been given to the Israelis is to find out whether Trump is going to go ahead and send the B-52s or the B-2s in, and then after that, just to what degree the entire Middle East will go up in a flame. And I have to wonder, after all this time, what is it with the born-again Christians who still believe that it's their religion that they have to support Israel no matter their sins? Don't you guys remember 25 years ago when your minister promised you that if only you would support the war in Iraq, you'd get raptured up to heaven in your bodies and all this magic would happen? Get it? Middle East? Millennium? It's like the Bible. Except that none of that happened, right? Or it did, and you got left behind here with the rest of us. So, oh shit, I hope I don't lose my place.
Boris.
I should have had this ready. I'm sorry, give me a sec. That was certain to happen at some point. God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, see I changed it, that's why I forgot. All right. Killing people? Are you sure that that's what Jesus would want? Doesn't sound right to me. And by the way, if the end of the world had happened, I think we would have noticed. We still might have a chance to. Anyway, here I am right at the start of the war trying to do comedy. I do write all Dave Smith's jokes. They're pretty funny, right? I try. I kid. But no, I always wanted to be a comedian. This is the problem is I'm so busy. I just don't have time in my life. I got to run 2 important libertarian anti-war institutions. I got to write all these books and host all these shows. I got to talk shit about Israel on Twitter all day. How in the world can I ever find the time to develop my comedy act, I just never really have the time. For a long time, I would kind of fantasize or daydream about, I really wish I had a little brother or maybe a clone. And I would call him Tommy. And I would just bully him all the time and make him do half of my work for me. Tommy, go to the post office. Tommy, email this guy for me. Tommy, arrange this interview. And then I thought about it and I figured it out. I actually already do have a Tommy who does half my work for me. It's Dave Smith. Only somehow I got stuck with all the grunt work. I got to read and write all these books. I got to do 6,000 interviews and all this. Meanwhile, he has this gigantic, national comedy tour. He goes on all the biggest shows, debates all the worst Zionists, and of course has this huge, successful show of his own with all the material success that he could ever want. Well, who the hell is Who's Tommy here? And how did I get myself into this situation in the first place? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, there it was. I knew that was next. I just thought maybe there was one more thing. No, but seriously, I saw Dave Smith's act at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, and it was really funny. And I'm sitting there listening, and I go, hey, wait a minute. That comes from a conversation that me and him had on the phone. And I'm pretty sure I'm the one who said that. All right, well, so for example, so I guess, Dave can do it. Maybe I can do it, right? It's worth a shot. Like, for example, here's something that I'm pretty sure comes from a conversation I had with Dave on the phone, which was, say whatever you will about Donald Trump. We sure are really missing out on President Slutbag right now. Can you imagine her sitting behind that desk pretending to be in charge and calling the shots? How absolutely hilarious that might be. Although I admit, I might die of cringe before her first term was up. You are too dumb to condescend to me in that tone of voice. Lady, please, back off a little. God. The worst one was I was driving, I heard on the radio Kamala Harris hosting a campaign event with Liz Cheney, explaining the lessons of Pearl Harbor. All of a sudden, I'm Harvey Keitel in Bad Lieutenant. The original, not the remake, where he's got a big bet on the game, and he's stuck in traffic, and he's listening to the ball game on the radio, and Darryl Strawberry drops the fly ball, and he freaks out, and he pulls his .38 special out of his holster. Strawberry, you fucking N-word! And he shoots the radio, and he puts the red magnetic light on the roof and peels out and drives off. Ah! Well, that's me, except I didn't have the magnetic red light for the roof of my truck, and so I got pulled over. Cop's like, boy, where's the fire? I said, I'm sorry, officer. You got me. Forget the Fifth Amendment or any of that. Like, I did it. But you have to understand, I was listening to the radio, and Kamala Harris was trying to explain, well, something, and I just couldn't stand it, and I had a bit of a freak out. And the cop was like, no, it's okay, son. It's all right. Are you okay? Take a deep breath. You don't need an ambulance. Take a deep breath. Now drive safe out there. Have a good day. He let me go. Because he knew how I felt listening to Kamala Harris explain the lessons of World War II. You see, if we hadn't got in that war, then we couldn't have won that war. And so that's why history is so important. Oh, I can't take it. I can't. That is a direct quote from that. But no, I'm pretty sure I know how Kamala Harris lost that campaign. I mean, it was a lot of things. But one of them was that by the end of the campaign, she had reduced her entire argument just down to abortion. There's nothing left. The entire argument of the Democrats had gone from we must keep abortion safe, legal, and rare to, all right, we're doing live stream abortion podcasts from Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters. We're doing abortion gender reveals. We're having abortion showers. What do you bring to an abortion shower? Six-pack? Come on down to Crazy Kamala's Abortion Rama. It's Cheesesteak Thursday. With any purchase, you get half off at the sub shop next door. Jeez, I don't know. If you're running to be the leader of the whole society, you should probably find something better to run on than our civilization should stop reproducing. You know? Give me a little something to believe in. You go, nah, you know what it is? We just need our own Joe Rogan. Oh, that must be what it was. You had one, but yeah. But anyway, you know what they say? They say, Scott, if you don't vote, you can't complain. And I say, you know what? That makes sense. That's fair enough. But then again, if you voted for the guy that lost, then you had your say. The other guys won, so you had no right to complain. But then, if you voted for the guy that won, and he's the one that's fucking up everything, well, then it's your fault. So you have to shut the fuck up, too. There, fine. Now no one can ever tweet again. We were so much better off before that infernal website. All right. But no, you know, the real problem is I'm all stressed out, as you could tell, because I'm going bald. I absolutely hate it. It's just the worst thing in the world. And you know, whenever I see a guy who's not bald, especially if he's older than me, I like silently and secretly congratulate him. Fuckers. But I hate it. It stresses me out. But, you know, lucky thing is, at least, that I get to keep this little stripe in front, at least for now. Unlike a lot of guys go bald in the middle first. That's worse, you know. So I got, like, Richard Nixon pattern baldness. Grand Moff Tarkin. I try to kind of comb it over, but my old lady says I got Better Call Saul hair. Oh, fuck. That was not what I was going for at all, either. But you know what I need? Side toupees. I can't believe no one ever invented that before. Side toupees. I'm a brilliant genius. I'm going to patent that. Don't anybody tell Stefan Kinsella. But that's got to be the solution. I'm going to get some side toupees, and then it'll be just like the old days, and everything will be right again. Right? All right. Fuck it, fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to shave off the rest of my head and grow my beard out real long. That way, from far away, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. And do a somersault, really blow your mind. All right. No, don't laugh. I only got 15 minutes. All right. So now I have this real personal problem going on, which I'll share with you guys. I've been tearing up lately. Like, not crying. I don't cry, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you that or use it as a premise for a joke. But I just mean, like, I kind of tear up a little bit. And I really don't know why. I don't think I really have feelings or anything like that. You know, I'll be looking at X, and I'll see the Israelis slaughter some toddler, and I'm like, oh my God, it's terrible. Right, but then nothing, right? But then I'm watching a rerun of Malcolm in the Middle, and they're all having a nice breakfast, and nobody's fighting. And all of a sudden, I got this giant tear wells up in my eye. What the hell's happened to me? Turned 48, all of a sudden, I hit menopause or something? I got all these feelings? I don't know. And then I'm trying to figure out, like, what can I do about it? Like, maybe I start drinking bourbon or buy more guns, a bigger pickup truck. Try to compensate somehow, you know? But I don't know why it's happening. It's freaking me out, you know? I'm sitting there thinking, my diet hasn't changed at all. Salt, sugar, red meat, Dr. Pepper, smoke weed all day. None of that's changed. So what could it be, you know? And then finally it hit me. Oh, I know what it is. I got this weird little albuterol inhaler with the steroid thing I have asthma now. Get this, before COVID, remember in 2019, the big CDC scare was they blamed regular open market nicotine vape pens, but it was the black market hash oil vape pens cut with vitamin E for your sunburn, which apparently do damage to your alveoli, and that's how I got asthma after being like 40-something years old. So now I have to take this stupid little albuterol inhaler with the little steroid in it if I'm going to get high all day, which of course, so yeah, so I gotta take the thing. And then I swear it was either that same day or the next day after I figured that out that Joe Rogan interviewed this comedian. And I can't remember why, but he was taking some kind of steroids. And he says to Joe Rogan, it's great, except I cry all the time for no reason, and I got puffy nipples. And I went, well, thank God, nothing's happened to my nipples yet, you know? But that cinches the case for the crying thing, the tear. That must be what it is. What a crazy side effect. And I have to tell you, when the doctor prescribed this to me, no one at the office said, now, Mr. Horton, you should know about the side effect of this drug. You don't ever go out in public, do you? You're never in a situation where men or women can see your face. You don't do cable TV news or give speeches or do podcasts with hundreds of thousands of viewers at 4K quality cameras pointed right at your eyeballs or anything like that, because of course, if that was the case, we'd have to figure out something else. This medicine's not for you because you're gonna have tears in your eyes all the time, which of course, you couldn't tolerate that, you know, handicap, you don't want that, so, but no, nobody said that to me at all. So instead, I just find out the hard way. I'll do the Judge Napolitano show. He interviews me for 30 minutes about the war or so. And then at the end of the interview, he goes, great interview, Scott, thanks. I say, thank you, Judge. He says, one last thing, though, before I let you go. I just want to thank you for hooking me up, connecting my show with your great colleague from the Libertarian Institute, Kyle Anzalone. He is so great, and he is one of my favorite new regular guests on the show. And I say, yeah. So I go, thank you, Judge. We're real proud of him, too. Thank you for saying that. But you know the judge, he pours it on thick, man, hard. He comes. But listen, you got to understand, this guy is so smart and so wise, so articulate, so intelligent. And I get this giant tear welling up in my eye, like I'm Kyle's grandpa the day he graduated from doctor school or something. Thanks, Judge. I said we're proud of him. I appreciate it. Now just say cut. I'm sitting there praying like somehow I can suck this tear in my eye back into my skull like Gary Coleman on Different Strokes. Or like somehow some warm wind is going to blow through my home office and evaporate it away. Instead of just standing like this for the rest of the show. And the comments section is like, man, this interview was really great. It said, what happened the last 45 seconds? The guy didn't blink. Like, yeah, because then a giant tear would fall out of my eye and you'd think I'm a homo. So instead, they all think I'm a psycho. But that's the way that goes. He's telling me 2 more jokes. So, but the thing is, you know, there's this guy on Twitter says to me, he goes, come on, Scott, it's obvious that you're just trying to deal with your unresolved childhood trauma. And I go, man, fuck you. That's stupid. What are you talking about? Well, I stopped and thought about it for a minute. And I thought, man, you know, he's right. I do have these kind of weird, dark memories of my father dropping me off at the skate park on Saturday morning. Have a good time, son. Love you, champ. See you around dinner. Beep, beep. He'd say and drive away. And then I would go in there and get wrecked, man. I remember one time I hung up on that fakey front side air thing, and I hung my back truck and just went straight to my chest in the flat bottom, knocked all the wind out of me. I thought I was dead. I remember that owner of the park come scoop me up like a little baby and carry me off of the flat ramp. Oh, and I gotta tell you, I've been skateboarding for a long time, and I have paid my dues to the concrete. I have slammed a lot of times, and truthfully, to tell you the truth, I really think that I probably do have a little bit of that PTSD, you know, and I'm not comparing myself to the guys who went to war or anything like that, but then again, like, do you ever go to the restaurants and they have the TVs playing in the background and they show the kids falling, ollieing down the stairs and stuff, and you kind of cringe a little? Well, when I see those, I die inside. I cringe so hard, I feel it in my balls. Oh, it hurts me, and immediately real memories of real close encounters with pavement come flooding back into my being, and I just, and I'll tell you the truth, it's so bad, this is true. And when I watch South Park, the crudest animation in the history of the world, and Eric Cartman falls down on the street, I cringe. Oh, God, I got the PTSD, right? Only now that I'm an adult, and I think about it hard, and I'm in therapy, you know, I realize my father must have absolutely hated me. All that support for my favorite after-school activity, he was just beating me vicariously. Hey, learn any new tricks at the skate park today, son? Yeah, Dad, I learned frontside rock and rolls and slammed on my elbow. Thanks a lot. I guess we're even for that thing. Buying me new wheels for Christmas. I see what's going on here. Build me a mini ramp in the backyard. What a terrible father. God. In closing, there is no God. Now, look, I mean, whatever. There could be something out there. I don't know. But I am, as of right now, boycotting all of the ancient Hebrew gods. And that's Jehovah and Yahweh and the Son and the Holy Ghost and all of that stuff. Because I'm boycotting Israel. These people reach into my pocket every day, take my money to kill kids with, and I gotta listen to their religious mumbo jumbo too? Forget it. I never could figure out why in the world this one tribe's God would happen to be the right one, or why anyone would think that. I was like Zeus on Mount Olympus with the lightning bolts and all the dramas and intrigues and stories. That's way more fun than a God that annihilates entire societies, or that weird dying god cult that they have. You ever seen Clash of the Titans? The original, not the remake. Zeus, man, lightning bolts. Got mechanical owls and shit, you know? Or like, I don't know, maybe I could believe in Gilgamesh. What was he, like a giant or something? Could he fly? Maybe I could be a Gilgameshian. I don't know. No, I'm boycotting Israel, but I'm against sanctions, though. Boycott and divestment only. Sanctions are an act of aggression. We're opposed to that. Now, but I have the solution. Here's what we'll do, folks. We'll just move Israel to South Florida. They'll fit right in, and then they'll only have 2 senators, and we'll have a lot less wars. Thank you.
Keep it going for Scott, everybody.